Okay, this is going to be our second battle. The first battle, we had 10 ties in Vader against just 4 rebel ships that were pumped up. So now my opponents, Kyle and Scott, they're going to change tactics, and they're going to go for mass numbers rather than pumped up pilots. So now they got 7. There's Scott. Now they've got 7 rebel ships instead of 4, but they're not pumped up. So I got the same thing. I got 10 Academy pilots with nothing on them, of course, and then Vader just with determination, determined to wipe out the rebellion again. And so I start in the center, and Vader's over there starting. And what do you got, Scott? Here you got.
We've got rookie pilots, 1, 2, and 3. And a plain old unaddressed Gold Squadron pilot over here. So we've taken the base stock low-level ships, and we're trying to counteract your swarm with our own swarm.
And over there, what do you got there?
Okay, so I have 2 Red Squadron pilots, each outfitted with an R2 astromech droid.
Right.
Just the basic R2, not R2-D2.
Yeah.
And then the Gray Squadron pilot Y-Wing, without any upgrades at all.
Okay, so rather than the 11 against 4, this time we're going to have 11 versus 7. And so I don't even outnumber them 2-1, whereas last game I outnumbered them almost 3-1. So it's going to be a bit of a different battle, I can tell already. Okay, so this is our first turn. Vader, he just didn't advance very much. He just went towards those guys. And those 2, the X-Wing and the Y-Wing, advanced towards him. These 10 fighters, 10 TIE fighters, all shot at 1 X-Wing right there. And it took all 10 fighters just to take down that 1 X-Wing. All 10 shots. I was hoping to get some shots on there and shots over there, but took all 10 fighters just to destroy that 1 X-Wing. So that's what happened in this round. One of my TIE fighters did take 1 damage, but so this round they've lost an X-Wing, and I still have all my TIE fighters. But yeah. Okay, so this was a really brutal round. I lost 2 TIE fighters. These 2 TIE fighters right here. The what do you call? What was you guys were using, the lock-ons?
Yeah,
target locks. Target locks were amazing. Like, they'd roll 4 dice, miss 4 times, and then re-roll 4 dice and get like 3 hits. So I lost those 2 TIE fighters there. However, I had all 10 TIE fighters, or the 8 remaining TIE fighters, fire back, and I took out 2 X-Wings. So you can see over there, they've lost. Sad face. Sorry, sad face. They've lost.
Y-wing left.
They've lost 3 X-Wings, and I've only lost 2 TIE fighters. But I do have 2 TIE fighters that are damaged here. But yeah, and over here, I don't think there's anything really between Vader and the Y-Wing.
Lost a shield, that's it. Or lost,
yeah, he lost 2 shields, and then Vader was fine. So for the Rebels, it's not looking good. Only 2 TIE fighters have been destroyed, and there's been 3 X-Wings, and yeah, we'll see. That was a brutal round. 4 ships destroyed that round. Boom, 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 boom. Brutality. Yeah. I just kind of shifted all my TIE fighters. I think Scott kind of predicted what I was doing. He knew that I was going to just turn all.
And I should have split my X-Wings in 3 different directions.
Yeah.
But we didn't.
Yeah. Because then it was just head on, and the whole fact of the matter is I had more firepower. 2 of his ships weren't even basically in the battle, and then I was able to concentrate just all firepower, which is what I need to do. Anyway, next turn. Okay, I expected a lot more damage. Nobody got lost this turn. Nobody got destroyed. I kind of did a lot of core gun turns, so a lot of stress. I didn't know the Y-Wings could do core gun turns, so this guy came around and then spun backwards. And that Y-Wing over there, he came up here and spun backwards, surprised Vader. These 5 TIE fighters, they went forward and then turned around backwards, and these 3 TIEs just came forward to try to nail that Y-Wing there. And then these 2 X-Wings are now closing on my TIEs, and Vader's coming up behind one of them. But yeah, it's kind of how it's looking there now. Nobody got killed. I'm surprised. Some shields were lost, I think, by the Rebel players, and some of my TIEs took some damage. But other than that, that was kind of a weird round where all point blank range and no one's dying. But yeah, weird. See how it goes next time. Okay, some interesting moves that round. My ties kind of swung out here, and then these guys came, did the Corrigan turn backwards to shoot the Y-wing. I did not take out anything, and the Y-wing here blew up one of my ties, and I was not able to do much. I took down his shields and damaged them twice, but 5 ties could not take down that X-wing, even though 3 of them are at close range. Yeah, that's about it. This Y-wing is still following Vader. Vader's now pursuing, trying to get back into the battle here and leave that Y-wing behind. But these 2 X-wings and the Y-wing, they held their own, and they took out a Y-wing without, or took out a TIE fighter without a loss. So now it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ties and Vader versus 2 X-wings, 2 Y-wings. So outnumber them 2-1, but wow, that was quite a
Ties just aren't dying fast enough.
You won that round. Scott's still complaining.
I always complain. You still outnumber us.
Just to point that out. Okay, this round, Vader's initiative actually really helped, because there's an X-wing right in front of 2 of my ties, and Vader blew him up even before he could shoot. Other than that, everybody shot, and nothing else died. So Vader killed, was it an X-wing or a Y-wing?
It was an X-wing.
Vader killed an X-wing. Everybody else shot, and some damage was done, but other than that, everyone's stressed because we're all pulling these high G maneuvers, I guess, and we're just not hitting. So a bit of a fur ball, but now you see they're down 4 X-wings. They've only got 3 ships left, and I still got quite a few ties, but some of them are actually damaged.
I think that
the rebels have
I think that's definitely a factor. And I think the fact that Steve's really good at strategy games is definitely a factor.
Yeah.
Dice rolls, because
So this was a Y-wing.
Yep.
The Y-wing got shot. Was it by Vader? Or maybe it was by a TIE fighter. So one of the TIE fighters destroyed the Y-wing, and then that TIE fighter was destroyed by that X-wing. So we each lost a ship, but I could obviously take the losses a little bit better than he could. So I'm left with 6 ties and Vader versus just an X-wing and a Y-wing. And the Y-wing has no shields?
Neither ship has any shields, but they both don't have damage either.
Okay, so they're undamaged, but they lost their shields. 2 of my TIE fighters are damaged. Vader's still looking pretty good. So not looking too good for the Rebels. The Rebels have now lost 4 X-wings. There's an X-wing over there. So 4 X-wings and a Y-wing. Unfortunately, Scott's been taken right out. And then I've lost, at this point, 4 TIE fighters.
We'll blow up your Death Star.
That'll blow up my Death Star.
That's right.
But we'll see how this...
victories that we go for.
So right now we're just saying, when TIE fighters are used in such numbers, there doesn't seem to be much the Rebels could do. Because they had 7 starfighters versus my 11 this time. Whereas before, I think it was 11 versus 4.
Yeah.
So they had doubled the number of ships for a Rebel Storm, but it was still a lot of firepower. Now, I was able to concentrate all my ties onto a few of his ships. In fact, 10 ties against one of his ships at the start. So I was having a little bit of luck there as well.
Divide and conquer seems to work.
Divide and conquer does seem to work. And so we'll see how this goes. Okay, we had a bit of a mistake there, yeah, so nobody got shot. Nobody lost that time. My TIE fighters did the Corrigan turn around, most of them except for this one guy. And now we're all facing the right direction, and we'll try to take out the last X-wing and Y-wing. Okay, that was brutal.
Resounding defeat for the terrorists.
Resounding defeat for the rebels. This was the X-wing. This was the Y-wing. The TIE fighters just moved forward 4. Or no, it's just 2. They just moved forward easy, took the stress tokens off, and then these guys turned around. This guy did the Corrigan turn here. And then it was just outright firepower. Just completely blew. Vader blew that X-wing up before I think he even fired a shot.
Yep.
And then this guy here fired, but he didn't get any hits, and then he got overwhelmed, destroyed. Yeah, one thing we gotta say, like, it's just overwhelming firepower. I only lost 4 ties that turn, and he lost... how many total X-wings do you guys have?
We had 7 We had 4 X-wings and 3 Y-wings.
Yeah.
No,
No,
we had
5
X-wings, 2 Y-wings.
Yeah, they had 5 X-wings here because there's 3 and 1 there, and then 2 and 1 there. So yeah, 5 X-wings and 2 Y-wings were destroyed for the cost of only 4 ties, and in the end, Vader and the other 6 ties. Yeah, so I would say just straight now the numbers game is definitely against the Rebels. Even when they just went this time, instead of taking 4 pumped up guys, they took 7 not pumped up guys, but it was just sheer firepower. Yeah. Anything you guys would have done different?
In a 150-point match, I don't know.
I think if we had just driven all the ships right up the center and tried to break up that knot of TIE fighters, it might have helped. That's about the only thing I can think of.
Yeah. Yep.
Because then it would have been more guys shooting. But the TIE fighters definitely had more shots on the X-Wings.
Yeah.
So it was like 10 shots on one X-Wing with 2 X-Wings shooting back because 2 X-Wings weren't really in range.
Yeah.
And then so that eliminated 2 guys before the next 2 guys got in range, which meant there was now 10 TIE fighter guns shooting on those 2 guys.
Yeah.
And it was just simply the amount of attacks that the TIE fighters were making.
Brutal.
The Rebel ships certainly have a certain amount of survivability, which I like.
Yeah.
They have the shields and the better hulls, which is nice. But you had 8 ties at one point attacking 1 Y-wing, and the Y-wing surviving the round.
Well, there's 10 ties that attacked 1 X-wing, and that X-wing survived, didn't it?
Yeah.
Or no, the 10th TIE fighter destroyed it.
Yeah.
But that was at range 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Brutal.
the Rebel ships can take a beating. It's just when you have that many TIE fighters out, they're providing that beating. So
Yeah.
I think instead of just charging a couple of these guys straight out, like I said, let's just go right in.
Yeah.
I should have maybe held them back and made a move too. That way it wouldn't have been 10 shots on one. There would have been a round with no shots.
Right.
Which meant that I would have been able to take all of my guys in and then start shooting,
Yeah.
as opposed to taking one of my guys in to start
That's right.
shooting. So
Yeah.
it would have meant one guy would have been in the game a little bit longer, and that might have made the difference to take out a TIE fighter or 2.
Yeah. Yeah, because that very first round, it was basically 10 TIE fighters versus 1 X-wing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, yeah.
And as soon as we lose one ship, that automatically means you're up ships, because you're already up ships to begin with.
Yeah.